Figure Fight Club, we're repping the crew, battle on the floor. It's me and you, pose them up right. Let the showdown begin. In this action figure world, we're destined to win. Got my action force, they ready to strike. Transformers roll out, they're ready for the hype. Marvel and DC, heroes in the ring. With every epic clash, hear the crowd sing. Figure Fight Club, we're repping the crew. Welcome to Figure Fight Club, where collectors come to play. Discussions from relevance to hot toys shaped by collecting weight. Pour a drink for yourself, collect your thoughts. Join us on this journey in action-packed talks. In the club, the fight is on. Action figures shine like the break of dawn. Collectors gather around, any drink will do. In Figure Fight Club, we welcome you. Welcome with the flop, with the flop, oh. Welcome with the flop, with the flop, Raise your drinks up high and let's cheers. You're among collectors and like-minded peers. From stores to conventions, we take you backstage, exploring figures from modern day to the Stone Age. In the club, the fight is on. Action figures shine like the break of dawn. Collectors gather around, any drink will do. In Figure Fight Club, we welcome you. Welcome with the flop, with the flop, oh.
Welcome to Figure Fight Club. Hope everyone's doing well. It's Friday night. It's Friday Fight Night. And Talib couldn't be here tonight, or couldn't be here right now just because he's at work. Hopefully he can make it into the later end of the show. But I have a special guest with me tonight. His name is Ace, and he runs that Ramen Toy place. Let's bring him on the screen. Welcome, Ace.
Hey, Avi, how are you?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good.
So many buttons up to press. I hate it. I need like a producer.
You need a producer. Yep.
I do.
DJ sort of thing. Yep.
I do. That would be fun. I agree. How are you doing?
I am good. It is Saturday, the 27th of September, and I'll be heading off in 6 days' time to start my journey towards New York Comic Con. So, yeah.
New York.
Doing some
and
stuff. Yep.
I'll definitely be seeing you there. I'm excited for New York.
Yeah, I'll see you there. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And you said you have a booth at New York. You're sharing a space.
Yes, I am actually. I'm actually invited by Tony from Nowhere Toys to have a little spot where we'll put up our, diorama for everybody to go and check it out yourself. You can bring your figures, put it there, take some pictures, and then just see the pre-production sample. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, that's awesome. Well, I have a lot of questions I wrote down for you because most of the stuff I don't even know about you. So I'm generally curious myself, and I'm sure a lot of the people in the chat are also curious. And then also hello to the people in the chat. And you guys are also welcome to ask questions as we go. I'll star them and bring them up as when we're going through it. So I guess the first question here, Ace, how long have you been collecting for?
Wow. I've been collecting for it's like a start-stop thing for me. Okay. So as I was as a little kid, I wasn't really collecting. I was just buying toys, and then I was just buying and playing with toys. Not me, my mom, right? My mom buys me the toys. Yeah, and some stuff that she didn't buy as well. And as I got into my teens, I ventured into plastic modeling, right? FX, aircraft, spray painting, airbrush, weathering. And then I went into the army, and then I started to apply my skills at doing models to make little miniature APCs of my unit, right? I was in the armored infantry, and I did some of those stuff, for the batch of enlistees, right? National servicemen. And then after that, when I came out, I started eBay. And with eBay, I was selling my own stuff, going to buy new stuff. And that's when I got back into like toys and action figures. And then it went again away when I was doing my Caliber Wings, die-cast aircraft models. So I was like focused on buying die-cast aircraft models. And then after that, then I got back into action figures again with the advent of Ramen Toy in 2021. So bit of a roller coaster.
So I guess when you got back into it, what kind of got you back into collecting? Like, was it modeling, or was it like action figures?
So what got me back into collecting? Again, it's a very slippery slope. Even I can't avoid it. So what got back into collecting is because I needed to buy samples and see what is in the market, so that I can execute my products based on what's the level acceptable in the market, and then looking at stuff, improving stuff as we go along. And again, there's no perfect way of doing things, but we do our best to make the best that we can do it. So as I was doing in all these purchases, I thought, maybe this one I should get for my own collection. Maybe that one. And then there you go. Right behind me is lots of all these collection stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Now, from childhood, what was your favorite toy as a child?
Wow, favorite toy has got to be my joke machine. You guys remember the joke machine from Bandai? It's a Macross Super Deform VF1. So they call it the joke machine. So that was my favorite toy as a kid, alongside He-Man, alongside Mask, I guess, and then Starcom came along the way as well. So it just progressed, right?
Yeah.
Everything came, and then we just started collecting the stuff. So yeah, those would be my top picks.
Okay. Now, what figure or moment hooked you into collecting? Was it
I think it's always been in my DNA, more so than any particular one. Although I do have a addiction for Batmobiles and Batwings of the 89 only, right? Anything else, I try to just if it looks cool, I might get it, like the animated Batwing. But I guess there's no real particular one thing that got me into collecting. It's just as a DNA, it's right in the system.
So you said so anything with 89 Batman you would 100% own?
Not 100%, but I do my best to. If I come across it and it looks cool, I would get it. For example, back in the day when we were doing like iPhone 6, they came up with a Batmobile phone case for the iPhone, right? So even though it didn't really work as a real thing, it was more like a novelty thing. So I definitely got that just for the sake of getting it, because it's an 89 Batmobile. And then when they have all these little gashapon of the 89, just I think last year they released it in Japan. I also got those, even though they are really, really undetailed and very simple. But because it's a Batmobile of 89, why not? It gets in my collection. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Now, you obviously collect a lot of different lines, is what I'm assuming. With today, it's a lot of it is research and development, I'm sure, but it's also, a hobby, like you said. Now, if you could choose one line as your favorite line, what would it be?
A favorite line? That is a very difficult question. What is your favorite line?
My favorite line, I would say, is likely Mezco.
Mezco? Okay.
The third party stuff is creeping up very slow, or creeping up fast, right behind them, to be honest. because I'm really enjoying both of them.
I got to be honest to say I don't have a favorite line at all.
Okay.
Everything just has its own pros and cons.
Okay.
And whatever that looks great and good, I would just get it. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's see. What about favorite figures? Can you name your top 5 favorite figures by chance?
Let's see. Wow, another tough question. You should have prepared me for this. When you go for all these ranking, you got to do research. You got to place it, and you know what I'm saying. You don't just go to the Oscar and say, "Hey, what is the best movies for the year?" So you got to do your due diligence. So yeah, maybe I'll get back to you on that a little bit. But yeah, let me think about it. If I can just circle back later on. Yeah, it's just.
So, Kaiju Daddy is saying Ace doesn't want to throw shade at anyone, so he's being diplomatic. But I was gonna just say, like, no one really watches this show, so it's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, we'll come back to that question.
Okay, yeah.
I guess so. As a collector, we all have like a holy grail figure. What was your holy grail?
It's right here. Let me just go get it. Okay, give me 1 second.
No problem at all. I'll catch up on the chat because apparently LP is being disruptive.
He's always disruptive.
He is a little bit. That's why. There you go.
So this is my holy grail.
Oh,
right. It is the Optimus Prime from Kabaya. Okay, so I remember vividly that I was because again I can't really have the funds to buy Transformers as a boy. Transformers was like a Louis Vuitton sort of toy in terms of the line of toys that I have, right? It's too expensive. So but the alternative would be like candy kits like this, right? So I remember vividly that and they have the numbers there. It's not blind box, it's numbers, right? Number 1. So number 1 is Optimus Prime. Okay. So I picked this out. As a kid. I picked it out and I at a supermarket, right? They sell this at a supermarket. So I give my mom, so I'm gonna get this, and she said $5, put it back. So I put it back. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, 35 years later, I went on Yahoo Japan and I have to get this because I know if I missed it, I will never get it again. I paid $200 for this made in silk box.
Wow.
And it's still sealed. It's still sealed because
awesome.
but it brings back so much memories for me. Right? This is my holy grail. And yeah.
That's awesome. That's a good one. So it's funny that you mentioned Transformers and your mom wouldn't buy, or your parents wouldn't buy it for you as a kid. Honestly, like me growing up as a kid, my parents didn't. I didn't really get toys. It was like once every blue moon, my mom would buy me like a $5 toy, but I didn't really have much as a kid. But so I don't have a lot of these type of stories like you do. Like playing with toys and stuff like that. But yeah. So we talked about the Holy Grail. Now, do you collecting wise, right? We're all collectors here, as you can see behind you and behind me as well. Which lines do you normally collect?
Like I said, I am very into Batman, especially 89. I am into He-Man, right? So the Masterverse that Mattel is churning out now is really awesome. And it's all about the art, the sculpt, right? Mm-hmm. You can see that even though it's the same characters, it's given another stylization by the artist that is tasked to make those sculptures and art. So, it came from a point where it was very simply done back in the 80s. And then they sort of revamped it like the 2000X. And then they came back to the classics with the Matty Collector, but improved versions of the originals. And then it evolved now to this Masterverse line, which is more defined, different stylization, adding more accessories and all these things. So it's something that I enjoy in terms of a toy line. where there's, meticulous details involved, not just the figure itself, but you have accessories, there's that whole play value, and that's what's important for me. Another line that I like is Starcom as well, right? Starcom, because in its time, it was maybe ahead of its time with the magnets, with the mechanism that deploys, although the figures are kind of small. And also, I like very much the Galoop micro machines, because again, as a modeler, you sort of like the details, and then it's amazing how they cram enough details of a actual vehicle into that size, and then makes it really unique. And coming a little bit towards the other side of like Japan, where the micro machines becomes like Chrono Q, so cutesy versions of cars and vehicles that is done. Again, you need an artistic mind to be able to reduce an actual physical thing into a cutesy thing. And not all cutesy design works, but the way that these guys do it works. So those are some of the lines that I do pay more attention to, amongst other lines as well. I probably miss a lot. So
I'm sure you collect a lot of things, but I mean, it's nice to know. So it's funny. Kaiju Daddy also mentioned in the chat, and I think Sneaky also kind of hinted at it, that are we going to see 89? Either a Batwing or a Batmobile in the future?
The whole thing about doing third party stuff is you got to also know the kind of battles to fight. So I don't do third party Marvel stuff because it's Disney. I don't do Warner Brothers Batman stuff because for some I know some of the difficulties. So I do my best to try to do improvements to the McFarlane Batmobile, and then a little bit by little bit, maybe I'm building a Batmobile. I don't know. So we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Now, do you customize figures as well?
I do very little of it. Most notably, and I think I may have to search my records for pictures to prove it. When I was when I got to know about the Matty Collector Classics He-Man, and being in Asia, it's not readily available. And by the time I learned about it, it was pretty much sold out everywhere, right? So the only way to get it is through the third part, the resellers, and then the prices they're asking for was just too much. So what happened was that I actually found a factory reject He-Man, and then I took it and I repainted it myself, and then that was my customization. And also, I got this. Hold on.
All right. It's like show and tell. I love it. All right. Let's see. Catching up on the chat.
So this is another custom of mine, which I bought the Wordy cap back when they was released with the whole shield. So I damaged the shield myself, and I applied the weathering.
That looks really good.
A bit of So this is actually the I don't know how do you say this. This is the Marvel. Was that Marvel Legends cap, Wordy cap? Is that right? So when I saw it, I gotta buy it. Yeah, I just gotta buy it. I saw it, but then I gotta apply all the
that looks really good
details. So yeah, so I do some customization, but not a lot because I have no time basically. No time.
You have no time. I mean, but so I guess let me ask you this question: How did you learn how to paint? That's a very
So that is from my plastic modeling days. So when I started doing plastic models as a teen, I got my airbrush, I got my paints, I got my oil paints to do weathering. So that was basically how I got into it. And again, I don't claim to be an expert because there are way more talented airbrush artists out there who makes great stuff. I'm only I just know enough to make something decent. I'm never the expert of anything. So yeah.
That's what most experts say though. I'm never the expert.
No.
Right? That's not how it works. That's the trade secret. Now, just kind of talk about this. Is there any figure that you bought and instantly regretted?
Ooh.
Like, this is a piece of shit. Like, like I don't like this.
When I'm testing out buying cheap stuff. So when I go online, in China, they have this thing called the Xianyu. So it's like a secondhand sort of app where people sell out their secondhand wares.
Okay.
Most of the time, it can also be brand new, but it's just an app, right? It's not eBay, but it's an app like that. So, so I saw some Ultraman figures that's so cheap. I said, okay, what's the deal here? So I bought it. They're just blatant KOs, and instantly regret. Instantly, like, okay, thanks for letting me know that this is why it's so cheap, and then just put it aside. Yeah, it's so bad. Yeah, so that's one case.
That's one case. Okay.
Yeah.
I like how you brought KOs and not like other lines, actual line. You don't want to mention an actual like, toy line, just the KOs.
No, yeah. I mean, it's the KO of the Ultra Egg from Bandai. Ultra Egg, okay. Ultraman. Yeah, Ultraman. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now, should collectors be more vocal about pricing and product quality, or is it just considered entitled whining?
Collectors should always be vocal about quality, but not so about pricing, unless, of course, the pricing affects the quality, right?
Yeah.
Because again, it's really what you get is what you pay for. My example earlier demonstrated that. I got a very cheap figure. It's so cheap, right? It's like less than $5. I think. Let me just do the conversion just to be safe, right? I want to make sure I know what I'm talking about. It was about let's see. I just want to be sure, right? So I don't want to. I think I got it for like this. So it's about $5 US for an Ultraman figure. And again, if that quality is bad, do I complain about that quality? No, because I paid that cheap for it, right? So if you're paying something that is exorbitantly high and the quality is not there, of course you can complain about the price, but you can always be hurt about the quality, because quality is everything, right? You want to buy something. Nobody wants to buy a bad quality of anything. I've never heard of somebody say, oh, I'm going to go out there to buy a bad quality of something because it's cheap or it's because that's what I want. No, everybody wants to buy quality stuff. Even though if you're getting a drink, you want to make sure that the Starbucks is tasting good, not diluted, not too cold, right? Quality. You want to have a nice burger. You want to make sure that it's tasting good, right? So everybody is in our DNA to want good stuff. But whether or not we can be given good stuff is the second question. So, for example, when you buy more like mass market stuff, like the Mattel He-Mans and the Hasbro figures, you do tend to get your QC issues, right? Because again, there's nobody there that's going to be QCing 20,000 figures, right? It's always going to be a pick and choose from the lot. Just pick some, and then we'll see what's the defective rate. So when you hear cases of the Dungeons and Dragons having broken limbs and all these things, it's all part and parcel of human error during production that wasn't caught during the QC process and is discovered by the consumer. And when the consumer highlights it, then obviously the company, even if they don't say anything online, like they don't usually, big corporations don't say anything online, but they will do they should, right? I don't know, but they should be taking the feedback and then improving. Well, basically, if any Hasbro executive heard about the Dungeons and Dragons figures from the feedback, then of course they would logically launch an investigation into what happened. Why was there a QC lapse? People could be fired. Positions could be changed, and then it doesn't happen again. It's what they're aiming for. If it happens again, then something is really wrong. Either they're not listening, they just let it go on auto drive, or something happened. But so generally and logically, when defects happen, consumers, like you said, be vocal about it. You complain about it, and then people hear it. It gets up, and then it gets passed down. Contingencies and plans to improve and prevent it from happening again. And that's what should be the normal process for any, company. Even, I guess, Apple that is doing the iPhones in the recent phone launch. Reviewers have mentioned that they have listened to the feedback and implemented some stuff. So it's all about that, being vocal about you are the consumer, so you're being vocal about what you're buying is important, obviously. Whether or not you mentioned earlier, if they are just what was the word you use, whiny or stuff. No, I don't think so. If you're able to present your case logically in a semi-professional manner, because you're not professionals, we're all not professionals in giving critical statements, but in our own capacity we can do what we can. But again, we don't try to degrade or talk somebody down. We present the points as facts. If this thing happened, we present it as fact. But if you see that there are people enjoying their figures online, and then you receive a bad one, it automatically means that yours is the exception to the rule, and not, oh, look, I got this, I take a picture, highlight it, oh, broken limb, oh, bad quality, that's just not smart. Okay? You want to look at what's surrounding you first. So case in point, if I can just talk about myself versus other people, when I look at certain comments about, oh, your 112 van is not 112, it doesn't fit my figure. But I heard many other comments that, oh, this is great, it fits my figure well, there's pictures to prove it. Then I think that this guy probably has the exception to the rule. So I don't really say, oh, that my thing is wrong. Perhaps look at what everybody's saying, and then we always cater to the majority. We can't please everybody, but we go for the 80-20 rule, right? We spend 20% of the time catering to 80%, and we spend 80% of the time catering to the 20%. So that is, I digress. I don't know.
Now, speaking about, so what do you do in that situation when you start seeing comments like that? And, and sometimes it's a legitimate concern. Sometimes it's like you said, the person is that 20% that's just kind of out of whack. Well, so do you have your? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, if it's a defect, we will definitely replace it, no question. But if it's a opinion on size, unfortunately, I can't do anything. I can't rejig the tool to make it bigger just because you think it's too small, right?
Yeah.
So we're just trying to be realistic, right? If there's something wrong with the product, we will replace it. If there's nothing wrong, but in your opinion it's wrong, then there's obviously nothing much I can do. But to say sorry, maybe you have to think, you have to look at the reviews in future before you make a purchase, right? To be sure, rather than go in. So to these people, I say, take your time. Don't have to, pre-order and maybe buy the wrong thing, right? Wait for the reviews to come out, and you can decide. Yeah. So
okay. I did start a few questions in the chat, so I was going to bring those up. This is from Initial Goose. Hey, Figure Fight Club and Ace, what toy universe would you want to live in and why?
Oh, I definitely don't want to live in a He-Man universe where they are in underwear. Yeah.
I mean, that means so are the ladies.
So anyway, maybe, I don't know, and I don't want to live in space. I just feel that it's too dangerous, right? So maybe in between, maybe in a mass universe where you're in the 80s, staying in the 80s, and then having cool transforming vehicles and enemies that's not that competent. Venom is not competent, right? They always nobody dies. That's the best thing. Nobody dies. So
that's true. That's a very good point. I would probably do like DC Universe, to be honest with you.
Okay. Oh.
Just so there'll be superhero. It'll probably turn into a really horrible thing, but yeah, I would probably say DC Universe. Let's see. Kaiju Daddy, question: if Ramen Toy were to make a G.I. Joe playset in 1/12 scale, which one would be most likely?
He wants me to say the USS flag.
I know everyone.
He knows it. He knows it, right? you know it's not possible, right? You know it's not possible. We spoke about this, Robert, but it's possible maybe in sections, right? But like I said, I see that if I want to make a G.I. Joe playset, maybe the elevator section of the flag is possible. The elevator section of the flag, I don't know. I like elevators because as a kid in well, not a kid, as a teen in school, there was a science project whereby I made an elevator, right? So it was an actual aircraft carrier, right? Aircraft carrier and an elevator. So I was quite happy with that. Of course, my dad helped me with that a lot because he gave me. I was thinking of the idea of using belts, right? The belt system to bring the platform up on the belt, right? But that wasn't practical. So he told me just use a screw shaft, put a bolt, a nut in it, and then put the platform on the nut. And as you spin the screw on the motor, the nut goes up and goes down. So that was my elevator.
That's nice.
So yeah.
Nice. But USS flag in 1/12 scale is possible. I have a friend doing it right now, printing it.
Of course it's possible.
Yeah, he's printing it, and it's supposed to be very large. I think it's supposed to be like 9 feet or 12, like 9 to 12 feet long, something ridiculous. But I have another friend who he's printing it for, which is supposed to go in his basement, and that'll be like the big thing in his basement after that. So we'll see. I mean, I think he's printing it in sections, so I think it'll probably take a few years to probably print everything out.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's see. Initial Goose. Speaking of quality, personal question for Ace. I know the ramen van was limited, but it seemed to not have as many details as one would expect. Where is the line between detail and going over cost?
Okay, so for the vans, it's exactly listening to the community, right? We did the ramen racer, and we tried to pack as much detail as we can to the ramen racer. We started with a vehicle with just the flames, and then people said maybe I don't want the flames. I want to change it and change that. So we did changing hoods, we did changing grills, we added as much detail, lights and sounds, and then we heard a section of the computer that said, "Oh, we don't want all these lights and sounds. We don't want all these gadgets. Just give me a plain, simple van." So we went the other way around. And then we heard about the price. They said, "Oh, we want to do a $100-ish price tag." So we went with that, worked backwards, and based on a $100 price tag, based on the cost of development, based on the quantities that we can only sell, we came up with this amount of detail or lack thereof. Hence, we call it the economical van. The name is there for a reason. All right, economical. It's not like super detailed and stuff. We purposefully made it as undetailed as possible so that people have what they want, which is the shell for them to take pictures with. So that was the whole rationale to do the whole van. But if, of course, the collectors want a super detailed van, then it's a different story. But again, why we did this was simply because that they said, I just want a van to put my figures in to take pictures. So with that in mind, we made the aesthetics good enough for that to happen, and then we didn't put in too much fancy bells and whistles to make sure that the cost comes down. Now, having said that, this van could easily be a $50 van at retail if we had 10,000, 20,000 units, but we don't. And that quantity severely dictates what is our selling price, because we can't be doing $50 retail and potentially losing $10, $20 per van. You know what I'm saying? Because our quantities are really limited. We are a very small setup, and we don't have the reach that most conventional toy makers have, which is a 5,000 unit production for most SKU. And then you'll probably also hear people online say it to back me up. most recently, I was a viewer on the Jazz Inc.'s diorama live stream where they launched the Batwing in 1/12 scale. Even Jost himself mentioned that they are doing a 3,000 goal for the Batwing, whereas conventionally, in his words, right, it's 5,000 pieces for most things to work based on cost and selling price balance. So again, the magical number, which I've learned as well, is 5,000. Okay, if you have 5,000 of a certain SKU, not combined, not right. For example, let's just take again a project that we have known like Flipboard, right? So Flipboard has many permutations. So that combined is like 5,000 pieces, but it doesn't mean that, oh, we have reached 5,000. So let's get all the prices down. No, because there are so many permutations. Some styles were even like 50 pieces. You know what I'm saying? So you have got to do like 5,000 of one particular SKU. And the reason for that is because the factory has set up cost to be able to print this thing on the arm, to paint this thing on the arm, on the eyes, on the mustache, whatever. They need to set it up so that they can do it. So by setting it up, it means spray molds, it means adjustments on pad printing machines and everything. You don't want to be spending 2 hours to adjust the correct spot and then print 10 pieces. You know what I'm saying? So you want to adjust it. Okay, fine. You have used up the manual labor, the time and cost. Now you're going for 5,000 pieces, 10,000 pieces. Then you feel good as the boss of the factory. You are making your equipment and your workers. What's the word for the per?
It's utilized. Right?
There's a term for it, right? The amount of money spent per time spent, right? So whatever, yeah. So yeah, the magical number is 5,000, and then we have actually not reached that at all. So hence our Ramen Toy prices have always been on the high side. We are obviously
smaller
looking
quantities,
to bring it down, but as it is now, due to the small quantities, we're unable to do as best as we hope we can. I digress again.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Yeah, no, and he asked another question. I'm going to bring that up too. But before I get back to Initial Goose, Lord of Brooklyn from the Hasbro headquarters is asking, hello, are there any comic book franchises you are looking to sign?
Currently, no. Currently, no. Because, see, the thing is that, we are tackling too many genres, right? Again, if I may bring Jazz Inc.'s diorama as an example, they pay Warner Brothers the license and they are focused on only Batman. So they can actually be profitable, or rather they can the monies that they spend is economically wise, if that's the term, because they are focused on one genre. They pay the license fee for one genre, and that genre has enough of a fan base to support it. Now imagine if they spend all their efforts on just Gatchaman. I don't think they'll be as successful as they are today, right? Because I've done the Gatchaman and the sales are very low. Okay, so when I tried to do Gatchaman, was trying to like maybe let's take Ramen Toy to the next level. After doing third party, let's see if we can get some licenses. All right, but again, as I mentioned before, I do not take a license for the fact of taking a license, right? I got to make sure that this license is something I like to begin with, and then this license makes sense. We could have taken the Silverhawks license as well, but it doesn't make sense. The amount of money they were asking for, 6 figures, not 6 figures, but 6-figure sum, right?
Yep.
6 zeros, right? Five zeros and one number in front.
Yeah.
These are just not numbers. These are not monies that we can actually do to make something make sense. There's no way. If we sign this, we just basically sign our death. That's it, right?
Yeah.
So the experiment of trying to get licenses has currently proven to be not so successful because Gatchaman is not doing well. It does not give us the encouragement to say, oh, let's go and do another comic book franchise license, because again, you're talking about potentially MGs that is way above our pay grade, right? So we just, based on that experiment, we now are scaling. We now are just refocusing our goals, our template to make sure that we're just doing the third party stuff for now.
Yeah.
And as and when there's an opportunity to do something that makes sense, of course we will do it, right? A case in point again, right? Now you have all these Chinese companies getting the Transformers license from Hasbro. It seems like Transformers license is the easiest license to get, as long as it's not transforming. You can make model kits, you can make statues. As long as you don't make transforming figures, you're good. You can get license, right? So one company that is making good figures now, model kits, used to be a company that makes knockoffs back in the day, right? So this company has come a long way, and then now they are a licensee. You see, so it doesn't mean that an entity has to get a license. Well, you have to get a license if you want to be really legit.
Yeah.
But it depends on your business model and your appetite for your ambition, right? So for us, we don't have those ambitions to be like a Blocky. And again, the Blockies also is a company that was doing other stuff other than toys back in the day. And then when they got the license, then now they are a phenomenon, right? Because that's just how it is. But imagine if they had left the game somewhere along the line, then you wouldn't have Blockies now. So a part of the game is also to stay in line. Like Brian Tracy said, you got to get in line, you got to stay in line. So they stayed in line, and then finally now they have their success. So similarly for the company that was previously doing knockoff stuff, now they are having success with their. Well, I'm not sure if they're having success, but at least they're having a license and putting their stuff out in the big box stores in China, the Pop Toy, the Pop Marts, the Top Toy, and all these chains. Lots of them selling the model kit figures. Likewise, if I may just roll the years back to Hot Toys. Hot Toys didn't start out on the get-go with licenses. They were also doing unlicensed stuff, right? So what makes us different in terms of the ambition to these companies? Yes, we are different in many ways. Size of company, financial status, etc. But in terms of the roadmap, there is no difference because we're here to make stuff for the fandom, right? Mm-hmm. The fact that people are complaining about knockoffs, I got a thing or two to say about that, because if it's not for knockoffs, some of the regions would not even know about this particular property. Case in point, so back in the day in Singapore, we were not so developed as now, right? Like I said, as I was growing up, I bought knockoff stuff. I bought knockoff Robotech Macross. I bought knockoff. I believe it's He-Man figures in a little. They reduce it in a small size and they put it into a snack box. Okay, so if it wasn't for these knockoffs, that child growing up in that region wouldn't have come across this particular IP. So there has to be some due credit to the people who make knockoff stuff to provide to the lesser income group of children or families. So that's just my take on that subject.
I mean, sometimes the knockoffs are better than the original releases anyway. So I mean, I still have I still have my knockoff Black Series Boba Fett that I got a long time ago because it was like you couldn't even find the Boba Fett, the original Black Series one. And when I finally got it in hand, I was like, I like my knockoff. It feels better than the official one. So it didn't make any sense. I do have. I've been flagging all the questions from the chat, so I do have them.
Oh, let me finish this point. Okay. However, knocking off a product and selling it for the exact same price as the retail price is wrong. That's what happened to a company in the UK where they made knockoff or they bought knockoff stuff of Ninja Turtles. There was a big story, and then the guy was actually prosecuted and sent to jail, I think. Yeah, because if you are dealing with knockoff stuff, you have to sell at the knockoff price, right? If you masquerade this as real, that's where it's a big no-no. Just want to put it out there. So I'm not supporting knockoffs in that sense. I'm giving credit to the knockoff providing a cheaper alternative to the people that can't afford it. But there's no way you should knock something off and then sell it as if it's the genuine. Yep, that's my point.
Okay. I wanted to remind you to still keep thinking about your top 5 figures in your collection.
Oh, okay.
Just keep thinking about it. We're gonna get back to that question.
All right. Okay.
I know you can still think about it, but I'm gonna bring up another question from Kaiju Daddy. He's asking which flavor of ramen is Ace's favorite, and does he have a favorite shop?
Okay, you're talking about in Japan. If it's in Japan, I really don't have a favorite shop because there are so many, and I do have some criteria. The noodles have to be thin, and the broth should be tonkotsu, which is pork bone, and there shouldn't be anything else other than char siu, bamboo shoot, and seaweed. If you put corn in there, it's wrong. It's already wrong. If you put anything else in there, it's wrong. Ramen should just be the char siu, sometimes the braised pork, and then sometimes, or most of the times, a good serving of spring onions. Yep, that's it.
All right. And then I'm going to bring up the last question that I'm going to bring up, at least from the chat. And there's more, but I'll get to those later. Derek Dalzell, thank you very much for the 6-month member chat. Ace, are there any updates on the Misery Machine from Zika?
The updates is that it's in the water. So as and when it hits the shores, I'm sure Zika would get the orders out to everybody who supported. Yep. All right.
And I'm going to go back to my questions because I have a bunch of them too, and I'm only on number 12. Now we talked about knockoffs, we talked about a lot of stuff. Now, if you could cancel one entire line of figures, it could be any line, which one would it be?
How do you mean by cancel?
Like it does, like if you did a Thanos snap and it like turned into ash, it doesn't exist anymore.
Oh wow, one line of figures?
Yeah, which line would you cancel?
Wow, it's like saying you want to cancel a person's thoughts and creation.
Yeah,
which I think is wrong.
That's really what it's saying in a way.
I would snap and say that there shall be no cancellation because everybody deserves their take to express a line, and even though if it's not agreeable to other people, it's still something that meant something to the person. Hence, he or she created it. Right, so I think I wouldn't cancel anything. Just let it be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did have some spicy questions in there. I apologize if you can't answer some of them.
Oh no. I do my best. Yeah.
Are there any lines you just kind of started losing interest in? Like you didn't like it as much anymore, or you just kind of lost interest?
Negative. I mean, there's so many lines, right? If you're talking about toys, even Beyblade is a line, right? Even Pokemon is a line, but we don't. It's not of my interest, so I wouldn't say. I'm only talking about those that's of my interest, right? So of my interest, there's none that I've lost interest in. It's all good. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so okay, maybe Ninja Turtles. I sort of lost interest in Ninja Turtles. Yeah, I was a big turtle fan back in the day. Yeah, so maybe that was maybe.
Is it because you said Transformers are everywhere that they get the line? I think the Ninja Turtles are everywhere. Pretty much every toy line gets like that license very easily.
Yeah, but then again, when you look at the offering by Ling Ji Hun, those turtles sort of elevates the line again. So you sort of like get stagnant because as they move into the animation phase of toys, everything gets simplified, right? Of course, the best would be the Batman animated series of the 90s. To me, is the best because they did it first, I think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. And everybody just followed suit, right? You have Superman animated, you have all the other Marvel animated, you have. But when you start animating stuff, you start to reduce detail. It gets to a point whereby wait a minute, what are you doing, right?
Yep.
So I believe the Turtles suffered the same fate when they were like really simplified in a way that even the shoulders was like a triangle shape, instead of a bulk here, it was just going down.
It just went straight down. Yeah.
And then they had big eyes instead of they had like round big eyes. I'm not sure which Turtles is that. I'm sure the Mad Hatter has all the data. So for me, when I saw that in the Turtles, I saw like, oh, wait a minute, you guys, what's going on here? And then they came back with all these realistic rendition, which is good. Yeah.
Okay. Kaiju Daddy actually made a comment. He said Ace hates Valaforce. Ace told me last night.
This guy is gaslighting. He's trying to start World War IV. And
I think House Hendo is also with him on that.
A falsehood right there. I collect Valaforce. I collect Valaforce. In fact, I got
it was Lord of BK who said Ramen Toy versus Valaverse, International Toy War.
You see? You know who that is? Yeah, so see, falsehood, Robert. Very bad. Very, very bad.
Very, very bad.
Yeah, that's the from Seinfeld. So
yeah. Now let's talk about displays, right? So you obviously buy a lot of action figures, and being a collector, our biggest enemy is space. So how do you display your stuff? Where do you display it? I guess you're in your office right now, I'm assuming.
Most of the stuff I'm at my home. To be honest, I don't even open the stuff, and like you guys, you don't open the stuff. So I just bought this. I just bought the God Jinrai gift set, and it still has the price tag on it. Look at that. It's not open.
So
I bought this. I got this from Toylanta, and I didn't open it yet. It's not open yet. It's all sealed. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So I guess my question though, like, how do you display everything? I see you have a nice glass display behind you.
Yeah, I display what I can, but I'm obviously running out of space. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to be renting another apartment downstairs or upstairs. I don't know. And I'm going to make the entire living room my collection, right? So, that'll be like this is a bedroom turned into an office space.
Okay.
But as a boy, I never had a glass display shelf. The closest I got to a shelf was an IKEA semi-cupboard. So you got drawers at the bottom, you got a glass case of 3 layers on the top, and that's it.
Okay.
And I always admire the nice, clean, all glass displays with lights and everything, which I never got until this last year.
Okay.
I never got a display until this, right? So as we age, it's time to start to focus on fulfilling all your fantasies. So I need to go and rent a apartment and convert the entire living room into shelves, and that if I get it done, I'll show you guys. The next live stream, maybe if I get there, would be in that place.
In the new apartment. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I totally understand that. I always try to convince my wife if we could buy another house, so I could just have it like a toy house. She said no.
Yeah.
So, let's flip it to Ramen Toy. So, I guess what made you decide to start your own toy company?
Well, I was always trying to start my own toy company since I was working for a toy company. So I came to Hong Kong in 2005.
Okay.
And I joined Action HQ. Action HQ is a Hong Kong-based e-commerce site that sold collectibles,
Okay.
and it then the owners then moved into licensing, and then formed Pop Box Collectibles, to which I was actually involved with painting the prototypes, going to the factory, helping to do the inspection of the parts, learning about tooling and stuff like that. And then fast forward 7 years, I think, I gave my idea to set up the name Caliber,
Okay.
because the company was actually called Fortune Merchandising Concepts, which is not exactly a toy brand name. So I said, okay, let's do, that's the company name, but let's do a brand called Caliber. And if you Google, you can see that Caliber under FMC has a line of 20-inch Transformers statues. And that's when Caliber started. And that's when I wanted to do my own stuff started, okay? But of course, even before coming to Hong Kong, I had my own toy shop because I was doing eBay from 2000 to 2003. And from 03 to 05, I had my own little shop in Singapore selling toys. So to make the actual toy brand or toy company was really when I was in Hong Kong and then seeing all the stuff. And after my bosses call it quits, I came out on my own and I did Caliber Toys. You can Google that as well. You can see my article on T-Formers. Caliber Toys got the Age of Extinction license in 2014. We did a bunch of coin banks, keychains, very novelty stuff. Because there was the entry level, right? I didn't have right out the bat, model kits, action figures. No, it was just very simple, non-articulated keychains and stuff like that. And then I moved on to die-cast aircraft models because it was too expensive to get the next license. I mean, what was after Age of Extinction? Am I going to get the next Batman? Am I going to get the, and there was so many competition. Iron Man was hot during the 2010s, right? So everybody was doing Iron Man, Marvel, but I could not afford these kind of licenses.
It was the MCU hype during that time frame.
Yeah. So I fell back to my comfort zone of models, and I did Caliber Wings, which is just die-cast aircraft models, and then the licenses for these are either very cheap or non-existent, which was why I was a little bit tickled when Hasbro said that their Sky Striker is licensed by Northrop Grumman. So what? It's not even a Northrop Grumman design. My first question. And it probably cost Hasbro more than what I paid Northrop Grumman, because Hasbro is a multi-million-dollar company. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Northrop Grumman saw that opportunity and then got more money from them. But I paid $1,000 for my license. 1,000. That's it. Okay. So I was tickled when they say, "Oh, it's officially licensed by Northrop Grumman." Okay, you can go get it, Abi. You can go get licensed as well. So sometimes
I'll look into it.
It tickles me. So as I was saying, I then COVID happened, and then as I was stuck in mainland China, I formed Ramen Toy. That's it. Yeah.
Now, what have been some of the your biggest challenges at the beginning or starting it?
In any venture, luck has an important role to play. And luck, as they say, is preparation meets opportunity. And I believe that part of our success comes from luck. The other part of our success comes from the fact that we are who we are. We are honest to the people. We are doing our best. We make mistakes. We correct it. And I think the fans see that. And that's why I would rather keep a pool of loyal customers than to go spread out to get lots of customers who are maybe today they buy it, tomorrow they don't buy it, that sort of thing, right? But then again, I do appreciate that not everybody of the loyal customer can buy everything. We all have limited money. So I do not expect anybody who is a loyal customer of Ramen Toy to buy everything. No, there's not a requirement to be a loyal Ramen Toy customer. As long as you are sharing our stuff, you are, helping us spread the word, that's good enough. Because at the end of the day, it's also important that the next buyer takes the place of the previous buyer. For example, when I am always a loyal customer of this particular noodle shop, but if I relocate, I can no longer go back to eat and support this noodle shop. So there'll be another customer that's going to take my place to replace the lost customer. But they didn't lose me because I said their food sucks or whatever, but for various other reasons. So for various other reasons that we have experiences in our lives, toys is a want, it's not a need, right?
Yeah.
It's always secondary, maybe even third or fourth tier. So that is just the reality that we have to face every day when we step out the door into the world. We come back into our safe place, happy place, but as we step out, it's a harsh reality, right? So, and I digress again. So, what was the question? Sorry, man.
No worries. I mean, what's the biggest challenges in getting Ramen Toy started?
So the challenge was obviously funding, right? Back then we were just trying it out because I was just thinking, if we showed this and we get the support, we can fund this because it's a pre-order. But then again, people are saying, "Oh, it's a scam. Who the hell are these guys?" So I said, "Okay, let's just go on camera and tell people that it's not a scam." But again, it takes a lot of faith because who the hell is this guy? Even though it shows his face, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything, right? I can show my face today and disappear tomorrow. But at least it's the effort that I put in to say, this is the best I can do. This is already the best I can do to convince you. The rest is up to you, right? It's the same thing for anything in life, right? You convince your significant other that you are the one for her. It's up to her to decide if you are the one, right? If you convince your interviewer that you are the guy for the job, it's up to him or her to decide if you get the job. So everything in life is like that. We do our best and we just hope that the results comes back. And if it doesn't, we try again. That's it. Yeah.
So one of the things you said was funding was a big challenge. Now, are you self-funded or did you get investors?
100% organic. Ramen Toy is an 100% organic organization. There was no funding. The funding is you guys, right? And then there is no marketing. There's no advertisement. All the likes, all the followers we get is all organic. So that's the one thing I'm very proud of, right? But of course, to grow it further, you cannot discount marketing. You must put the dollars in to get it marketed. And once you do that, you'll start to see, oh man, there's people coming. But can we handle this? I don't think so yet. So I would rather keep it as it is now. And then let's see where it goes. Yeah,
I 100% agree. Marketing is very important. That's where I tell my CEO to spend most of the money. I was like, put it to marketing. That's where we needed to go. Let's see. Did you have experience in design or manufacturing before this?
So only in manufacturing, but not design. Again, I myself am not a designer. I'm a critique, right? I'm a director. I can't draw to save my life. I can't design on 3D. I can paint, but I can't design or draw. So I'm just basing on my what's in here, what I'm seeing in here, and then telling the sculptors, telling the artists to do it this way, that way, so that it comes out exactly what I want. And I'm fortunate that the people that I work with so far understands what I'm thinking, and they delivered the stuff that is good. But at the same time, I also rely on fans. So some of the stuff that you see that we produce is not my input. It's totally the fans' input, right?
Okay.
The sculptor himself is a fan. He sculpted the best. So that's why I always try to engage the people who are the real passionate in that field to do the job.
Yeah.
Again, coming back to real life, the CEO of a company doesn't do every single thing. He employs the right people to do that thing better than he does, right? You can't know everything, but you must get the people who are better than you to do the stuff that's needed that you can't do.
Yeah.
So I can't be like wasting my time learning to draw, because no, I get somebody who can draw and do it better than me to do the job. And that's what we have evolved into.
I mean, you're the person who runs the company. That's really what it is, and you hire people to do the designing, and everything else that's involved. So, I get that 100%. Let's see. I did. It's funny. We were talking about. There was a question that came up in the chat earlier, and I wrote this down in my little Excel sheet. But it was about comic. When you were answering, I think Lord of Brooklyn's question about comic books. It was like, have you ever thought about getting your own IP? Like, Mezco does the Rumble Society. Have you ever thought about kind of creating your own Ramen Toy IP? Like a story behind it and like just unique characters?
Okay, so on that question, we have tried to do our own IP in terms of Machina, Titanium Titans, Commanders 2086. But it is, again, a dream that needs to be backed up with actual physical work. And the work, as it seems, after we've investigated, is not as simple as it is at all. To write a story, to hire the writers, to have the whole thing laid out is really not as simple as what one thinks. So it is really kudos to the people who come up with the IP, right? So it's something that I would love to do, right? We would love to have our own Ramen Toy IP, but at the moment, it's something that's beyond us, right? It's something that we could spend a lot of time and effort and money to do it, but it might not mean it's successful. So it's a risk that's too much to take at the moment. So we are just going to do what we do best, which is to make the third-party stuff that you guys want at the moment. Yep.
Okay. Now, how does your collecting or your collector mindset influence your business decisions?
I believe quality is the only part of the collector mindset that influences what I'm doing, because I'll tell myself, if I have this in my hand as a collector, am I satisfied? All right. And that's what pushed me to look at the mistakes and then do better. Because seriously, with every single Ramen Toy production, there's always an issue, and it hurts me deeply. It pains me, and I just cannot live with myself. But it is what it is, right? So for the first Commanders, what was the issue? We had the holes that were deformed, that wasn't visible with the naked eye, right? Because we had the pegs, the holes, and then a slight variation of the hole, but from the tooling, from the molding, it was not adjusted properly. It resulted in the slight deviation, and then you cannot put a part with like 4 pegs into the body. So it's like, oh shit, okay. So that was one problem. And then with Quicksilver, right? The second project that we did, the problem was falling out magnets that wasn't glued in properly, right? Joints that were falling out because the PP joint, the POM joint didn't glue well with the PVC joint. Okay, and then with the Monster, you got the painted parts sometimes sticking onto the joints, and it couldn't move.
Okay.
Right, and then with fast forward Ramen Racer, you got magnets that were reverse polarity. There's always something, like it or not. Okay, and my excuse is that because a product is new, you need to go and test out all the issues and then refine it, and then you will get a seamless flow. But we don't have the luxury because our item is not a reorder item. Okay.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you look at other products in the market, the reason why they may have no flaws is because this is the third run, the fourth run, right? But we don't have that luxury. We have only one and one run only. Okay. So if a product goes through many runs, so customer feedback, then we can actually make and correct all the errors, iron it out, and then it becomes a more well-oiled machine. But in the meantime, we suffer from this one-time only production, and we can't see everything. For example, even with the Great White, Makina Great White, we left out the stand. I left out the stand, right? The factory they thought there was no stand. So as much as we perfected everything on the Great White after lessons from the Gull Wing, we missed the stand. So every time there's something that happens in our production, and that's just my my sadness. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it does happen, but you're learning as you're going, right? So that's one of the biggest things, lessons learned, right? So every release, I'm sure there's something you're learning from, and you remember now, hey, this can't happen again, or this shouldn't happen, and we should do it this way. So I'm sure a lot of that is there, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to take a quick break from my questions and go back to the chat's questions, just because there's a lot. I'm going to start from the top and work my way down. So this was from earlier from Sneaky Figures. Ace, what do you think of the new Mondo 112-200X line?
I think that Mondo has also learned from their 1/6 attempt at doing the He-Man figures. And you can see that these lines now is much more refined than the 1/6 scale attempt. So I think kudos to Mondo for also improving their craft. And I think what you see here is a fantastic line. That's my thoughts. Yeah.
Okay. Initial Goose, how hard would it be to design a modular van or vehicle using magnetic attachments? That way you could create upgrade kits outside of the cost of the vehicle.
The hardness is in terms of the planning. You have to really sit down and cover all the angles, all the variations that you want the modularity to perform. And then that takes a lot. I mean, imagine if you miss something or two things, and then therefore this design can no longer work. So it's to make something modular, you have got to think very long term. You got to have the ability to think very long term. And unfortunately, I don't think I have the capacity to think so long term. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Yeah.
Okay. Kaiju Daddy is asking question: V or V the final battle?
If I do V, it's gonna be the original TV series. Yeah.
Okay. House Hendo, what about several of popular indie comics for cheap, and do you do your own line with them?
Again, I believe this question falls back to me saying that we don't just do stuff for the sake of doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm understanding your question correctly, so if there are popular indie comics for cheap, it doesn't mean that we should go and do it, because I don't understand these comics. They mean nothing to me, and I'm not doing it just for the sake that it's cheap, right?
Yeah.
Again, we are willing to pay to use the IP, but it has to be reasonable. It cannot be, it cannot be a 6-figure MG, right? We nearly paid Hasbro the 6-figure MG because we said, okay, let's just bite the bullet, pay them what they want, and get it done. And I'm thankful that they said no to license, because if we had given them the 6 figures, right, we will be down 6-figure of R&D, and we cannot guarantee that we can fulfill our projection on those numbers, because again, we are, with our history of Ramen Toy, we have never sold more than 2,000 figures of anything. So how can I promise them 5,000 of this and that? So it and again, the reason why I did all these projections is because if they saw small numbers, they wouldn't bother. They wouldn't bother if I showed them a proposal for 1,000 sets.
Yeah.
They want to see more, right? So I gave them what they want to see. and then they didn't give me the license, which is fine. Again, everything happens for a reason, and I take this as a blessing in disguise. Right now, I have more freedom to do what I want and what I don't want to do. I mean, I don't do what I don't want to do, because if you're in a license, you are sort of committed to sort of like finish the line or something like that. So, yeah, I believe that's my answer for that.
Okay. Let's go to the next question from Jean Francois Pierre. Do you want to make a Toyota pickup Back to the Future normal or Army one?
The pickup has crossed my mind. I've actually gotten a few model kits of pickups to investigate. Unfortunately, when I go to places to buy model kits, it's mostly Japan. And thankfully, Toyota is a Japanese model, so we have that. Unfortunately, I want to do like more American kinds of pickup, but they don't have this kind of model kits in Japan. I got to probably go to the US to go to the model kit stores to find the AMT brands that has the Broncos and all these things, the US vehicles. So coming back, I would like to make a pickup, and I'm not sure how it will become an Army pickup. I'm not sure, but obviously if there's a chance to redeco it as an Army version, I'll be more than happy. I just, part of a toy company is you want to amortize your tooling. You wouldn't say no to recoloring your molds to do another sale. That's for sure. There's no denying that. Yeah.
Yep. Next question was from the collector. What's the coolest thing you saw at a con this year that you were not expecting?
At a con this year that I wasn't expecting. Coolest thing. Maybe the Battlestar Galactica 118 from Factory Entertainment, because I've not seen anybody do that, and it was a surprise for me because they are mostly a prop replica company. So to see them do a 118 scale range is cool, and I didn't expect it. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Next one is from Alpha Red. Ramen, where is a good site to buy your products? And I would first say go to ramentoy.com. Ramentoy.com, BBTS has your products as well.
Some, because they refuse to stock the non-licensed stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I bought the ramen, the van from BBTS. Yeah. Great. But Ramen Toy, I would recommend going there first.
Yeah, support the website first, and I support it at the early bird price. It's always the best to get it at the lowest price. Although some may argue, but the shipping is expensive. So you decide, right? You decide.
That's true, because once it goes to a different site, it's going to go up in price regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Initial Goose asked, "Hey Ace, if you ever need someone to hire to do things that you need done in America, I am here for you."
Oh, thank you. Where are you based in America? It's important because it's so big.
That's also very true. So Initial Goose, where are you based in the US? Impossible Pie Productions asks, question for Ace: will you expand the Gotchaman line to more vehicles and figures?
So what we made a promise to Tatsunoko at the point of the license is that we will make all the vehicles. So that is one promise I want to fulfill. As long as we don't lose money, we will do it. And then I've heard that people want the original G1. So I'm also committed to test it out to see if it really is much more popular than the G2 that I selected. And again, I selected the G2 because I grew up seeing the G2. So that actually meant something to me, more so than the 70s G1. But like I said, let me finish up what's on my plate first. And then along the way, maybe we can insert and start making the G1 and go from there. But yeah, I am, in fact, what I expand on the Gotchaman line, yes, I'll be finishing all the 5 vehicles in the 124. So the motorcycle will be the smallest. So probably they'll be paired with something else. And then the tank will probably be the biggest. And the most expensive tooling, I think. But again, if we can get it to just break even, is all we ask for, so that we can finish the line, give the fans what they want in terms of this line, and move on. Yeah.
Okay. Initial Goose responded back and said he's from Fort Collins, Colorado, right in the middle. And I have the charisma to go to the coast to coast.
Okay. All right, man.
The next question is from Leo Denver Rex. Hey Ace, if you decide to do Galaxy Rangers toys, what scale would they likely be? The Marshall could easily be retooled.
Yeah, 112.
112. Okay.
Yep.
And then Matt with 2 T's with a 6-month member chat. Thank you very much for using that. I just wanted to say community and Hasbro Agent Venom shoulder pads can suck it. FFC for life. Word. Thank you, Matt.
Okay.
And this is the last question, and I have at least started. Initial Goose, hey Ace, would you be willing to sign a ramen van and send it to Avi for the Figure Fight Club December 5th live stream giveaway party? I'll pay for shipping if that helps. There you go.
Sure. Yeah.
That would be fun, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm working on I'm trying to get to 2,500 subscribers by December 5th, and if we make it by December 5th, I don't know if you remember, I did a giveaway party to hit 1,000 subs.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm doing another one to hit 2,500 subs, and I'm going to give away over 20 plus figures and vehicles and stuff like that. So
let's put it this way: if there's enough space in my luggage, I'll bring one to New York for Abi. If there's enough space, yeah, that's because I have a lot of stuff to bring. So,
I know.
Yeah.
I have to bring.
If I show up without a van, please don't start like pitchforks. You said you'll bring a van, because I gotta bring the helmet and everything. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand that completely.
Yeah,
but again, I would appreciate that too. Let's switch over back to my questions. So back on the business on Ramen Toy, how did you build your team of sculptors, designers, and engineers?
So Julian Cabada from Argentina is, I guess there's some destiny involved where we met and we worked together and we're still working together, right? Some divine help maybe. So I know Julian from back in the Macross days, where I think he was doing some sculpts of his own for Macross that he would put up for people to download the 3D files to print. So I thought that he had great talent in terms of sculpting. So I'd say, hey, Julian, I'm doing this figures. Would you like to sculpt? Then he said yes, and then here we are today, right? So that is one aspect. I harness on fans who are already good at what they're doing to do it. And then along the way, we have people like Luke Wakeford, whom I knew even back in the day when I was working in Hong Kong. Because back in the day, we were already discussing about the Silverhawks license in the company that I was working for when I pitched Caliber as the brand to make statues. So we actually saw his sculpt of Quicksilver online, and we thought that was a very good sculpt. And I reached out to him to say, hey, look, we are potentially looking to license this. So if we do license it, can we actually get your sculpt? To which he said yes. But of course, we never licensed it. So that was a thing. And then fast forward to when we did the Silverhawks figure, Luke contacted us to say, hey, I'm Luke. Then that was how we got reacquainted and reunited again. So he's been doing the Marshall stuff. And in terms of engineers, for transformation of the Machina, the tanks and all these things, is basically an uncle, well, two uncles, two Chinese uncles in their 50s, working in the prototype shop, who helps me to design all these things.
Okay.
These uncles are old school toy makers. Okay. They literally do everything by hand. There is no computer and all these things. Yes, there is computer for the 3D, They print it out, they dissect it, and then they put in everything, the screws and the springs and everything by hand. And then once that prototype is done, we scan it and re-put it into the computer and then refine it and then output another set of samples to re-put in all the springs and screws and stuff, and that becomes the prototype. So I got sculptors who are fans, friends. I got engineers who work for a prototyping house that I know, and then the factory that makes the stuff, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what was your first release from Ramen Toy? What was the first ever product?
The 80s Commanders, which I don't even have anything here. Oh, except the Phantom foil. I have the Phantom foil now. Yeah, 80s Commanders was the first release from Ramen Toy.
That was the first release. Now, how was the collector community? What was the reaction? How did they react to it?
Mixed reviews, of course. People said that I shouldn't stylize it, right? Back then, I got very atrocious head sculpts, right? But then again, the rationale for this was back in the day was like that, right? I'm a new company, an unknown. I got this idea to stylize the Centurions with a modern look, with a more realistic look. And then Julian designed it, and then we showed the renders. People liked it. But of course, Julian wasn't very good with head sculpts back in the day. So he did what he could with the head. And then we thought that also because if the heads were different enough, then it would, be safe from actually Centurions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's when we actually did all these, it's okay, we just pick the head. Because the important thing wasn't the heads, right? It was the helmets. You put the helmet on and it's this thing, right? But of course, fans picked it up and said, oh, it looks like shit and everything like that. And we did a V2. We got Luke to do the hits, and then we put out better hits, right?
Okay.
And then there was big reaction in that, oh, why are they so dirty? I want the real bright colors. To which we also did a second version of the bright colors. But some fans say, oh, this is a slap in the face because I bought your weather one, and then now you're releasing the bright color ones. But no, because I would think that if this wasn't your cup of tea, then you wouldn't buy it. So why would you buy this saying that this is not good and then complain that I'm forcing you to buy something and then I'm switching into what you want now, right? I would think that if you didn't like this, I'm catering to people who like this first. So let me do this production and cater to the people who like this look, and then let me get to your look, right? So that was my whole intention, right? But it was misperceived as, oh, these guys are slapping you in the face, right? They release it immediately after they release. No, I was doing immediate Kaizen. I was correcting it for you, So yeah.
Okay. How do you balance being a fan with being a business owner?
I believe the balance actually is sacrificing being a fan. Okay. That is the difference, because again, I'm not so invested anymore when I buy a figure. I mean, there are so many figures of mine that have been dissected by the factory. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, I mean, you got to show them the best, right? And that is, you can't be showing them a crappy figure and say, oh, let's follow the crappy figure. So you got to show them the good figures. And then even the good figures like this is a SHF. He's dissected. He's missing his head, right? So what pains me is I got to sacrifice my stuff for the benefit of research and development. So that is so I try to I distance myself from being the fan already, and then I become the manufacturer. It's a path. It's a path that is not easy, but it's a path. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's what they're saying, right? That's what they're saying. That it's two sides. They say that if you are doing your passion every day, you don't work a single day.
Yep.
There's also the saying that your passion blinds you from doing the business. And there's also the saying that if you're doing the business like that, it makes you hate your passion. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So
as well, yeah.
either of these things can happen to anybody. It's how the person inside reacts to it that is matters most. So fortunately, I'm not hating on toys because I'm doing toys every day. Neither am I blinded by my passion because I understand when it's time to lay down the gauntlet and say, no, this is not right. And say we have to carry on. Otherwise, we'll be correcting until the cow comes home and there's no product. You know what I'm saying? So I think I have a good balance in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good though. I mean, it's good that I liked what you said earlier about, you know, it's a passion, but it could blind you. But at the same time, you could get lost in it. So there's just so many different outcomes. I get that completely. What are some of the early lessons learned, or like lessons that you've learned that you still apply today?
Well, the lessons that you learn, that you apply every day, is never forget that you started with nothing. In a sense of the army, my instructor used to tell me, of course, I graduated to be an officer. The rule, the thing to take away is never forget that you were once a recruit. It doesn't mean that now you're a captain. You can start to like throw your power and do stuff. No, always remember that you were one of those guys before. Always remember that I am nothing before, right? It doesn't mean that I'm like a superstar now, right? No, I'm still doing my best every day to get the production right, reduce the number of mistakes, get the production on time, plan and do it properly. So these are all the things that I'm always applying in my day-to-day.
Okay. Now this question was provided or asked or sent to me by Initial Goose earlier today. How do you decide which toy ideas to move forward with? Is there a panel that approve it, or do you just simply design and build what you want?
The latter. The latter. So
design
simple.
and build what you want. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Now, has there been anything you've designed that you wanted to do and designed it, but hasn't come to market yet, or hasn't even been printed yet?
No, but the one thing that I need to get done that hasn't been in the market is the He-Man, which is what I call C-SPAN and the Sister, because as a big He-Man fan, I wanted to produce something that I envisioned to be what the fans want, and that was proven when I showed all the prototype at PowerCon in 2023. So that gave me the affirmation that indeed I was on the right path, right? C&D aside, and then along the way, I was trying to perfect this guy, because as I showed off the prototype, then I started to see more stuff in the market, like the Mythic Legions doing a He-Man-ish figure, Brutal Realm coming up with a He-Man-ish figure with lots of articulation, Frazetta Girls coming up with that that figure, the Conan, right? So all these, I said, oh, wait a minute, if I put this out now,
it gets lost.
I'm not doing it justice. Not doing it justice. I got to make sure that this has all the components that as best as I can, because what I do today, you might see improvements in technology down the road. So I got to come to a point whereby, okay, I'm going to do this to the best, and I think I will press the stop button to the development, and then it's time to produce. So I think right now I'm in a very good place with all the hiatus of delays. Right now, my mind has changed the figure to be compatible with Masterverse. All right, so the initial idea was that it's going to be my own joints, but now I'm going to use the Masterverse joints so that you can basically get a Masterverse, plug out stuff and put my stuff, or even take the armors from here that I may not do and put it onto my figure. So that's how the time that elapsed allowed me to further formulate, adjust, massage, modify the idea, the figure, so that I think now I'm in a good place that I'm ready to show this in November, I think. Yeah.
You just reminded me, and I totally forgot to tell the chat. We do have a giveaway today.
Okay.
We'll be doing a giveaway later
Oh, there we go.
today, and it's based. It's the Royal Guard from Savage Crucible. I just heard thunder. That was really loud. Sorry. Let's get back to the questions. So, you talked about quality being very important to you. And what about articulation standards? Do you have any standards with articulation on the figure, or what's the aim?
Yeah.
I should say.
So you see, when you look at all these non-branded or independent branded naked bodies that has great articulation, remember when you put on the armor, they can't move as well.
Yeah.
So most of the time we are blinded by, oh, look at that, you can do all this, but in fact, once you put on armor, which most of our figures do have,
Yeah.
then it doesn't work. So you need to work around that. You need to work around how does the armor put on and it actually can articulate. Sometimes we can achieve it, most of the times we cannot. Okay.
Mhm.
They always complain that Mythic Legions has no articulation, right? So as much as they have articulation in the body below, because of the armor pieces, you just can't do it. And that is ultimately the limitation of figures in today's context, right? How many figures that you have with armor are you displaying them in dynamic poses? Ultimately, the brands that's making all these advertisement shots, most of them do still are standing up straight, and that is the sad truth. So although I apply articulation in my stuff, I do also be realistic and say, hey, if this doesn't work, then there's no point pushing for it. So that's just what I'm thinking.
Okay. Now, what figure or vehicle are you most proud of designing?
I think at the moment the bridge layer, pretty proud of it because it actually works. It works. And although my sad part is that it's not to scale, because a normal M1 tank has like 7 road wheels, mine has only 5, so it's already 2 road wheels shorter. So that's my bit of it's a trade-off. It's a trade-off between accuracy and something that is not too gigantic for the collector. Although again, it's also a trade-off for the customer who says, I'm not going to buy this, which is fine, right? I'm sorry, I can't cater to the people who are critical enough, because I would like to do it. I'm just as critical. I would love to do a true scale M1 112 scale, but once I do that, it doesn't fit the rest of my plans, the modularity that I have in mind, right? That chassis is going to be too big for something else. So as much as I would really love to do it as accurate as possible, I have to consider the business, which is to sell to the majority that is going to accept this for what it is, versus not going to buy it. It's either this or not. So that is where the business mentality comes into play. That's where the shortfall, the feeling of like you didn't really do your best, you didn't really make it correct. So I think I'm pretty proud of the bridge layer. And then for the figure wise, I think for the figure vehicle still Shark Great White is a very proud. We are very proud of doing Great White because it wasn't done before, and I can see why. Right? I don't really buy that is the Porsche license, because number one, I don't think it's drawn exactly like a Porsche in the cartoon. None of the vehicles are drawn exactly like what their licensed counterparts are in the cartoon. Okay, so it's already a difference. Just like the Sky Striker is not an F-14, It's already a deviation from the licensed material. So why would they say that, oh, because it's Porsche that they can't do shark? I believe that they can't do the transformation. That's what I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
Back then. So.
Okay. What's the biggest issue you've run into during production?
The issues is always about tooling, fit.
Tooling.
Because at the end of the day, it's manual labor. It's a sifu, as they call it. The guy that does the tooling is supposed to be an expert at what he does. How expert he is, I'm not sure. And then it's up to the tool maker to adjust the parts so that they fit, not too tight, not too loose. And then that's the most difficult part of production. And then, of course, weathering, because not everybody is an artist. So you get actual people in artist background to be painters in factories making statues. They have some inclination of what is color and toning. But most factory workers don't have the inclination. So that's why you see Hasbro's weathering is just a sloppy mess. Just put on a wash, that's it. So, and even McFarlane, right? Whatever weathering that they have is just a sloppy mess because they don't know what is weathering. But again, to most people who don't know weathering, when they see the sloppy mess, they don't realize it's a sloppy mess. And that's what's interesting. Yeah.
Now, how much does collector feedback influence production?
Oh, very much, because when collectors spot a mistake that we didn't spot, and if it's too late, we feel like, oh shit, right?
Yeah.
All So as much as possible, that's why we share all these product development in our Facebook feeds, in our social media, because we want to show people what we're doing. And if you can catch the mistake, catch it now. Tell us now, right?
Yep.
Even again, if you see the interview of the Knight Rider by Tommy, the head, one of the engineers of Tommy, in a recent video just released last night, go Google it. Even he was saying that he relied on the fans to tell him what's right for the Knight Rider, because he doesn't know, right? So same thing here. As I'm doing all these, that's why I'm doing the things that only I like, because I know enough to make it what I think is good enough, right? But I still do miss certain points. So when I am asked, let's do this, let's do that, I'm not inclined because I don't know what I'm doing, right? I can't be pretending to like know what I'm doing when I don't. So coming back, if the collectors see something wrong, they highlight. If we can still improve it without upsetting the budget and time, we will always improve it. Just like yesterday, we had a comment about the stream that's flowing out from the pipe. They said, please do the water all the way to the end. And I said, okay, let's do it. Right? I can do it. But if this is already produced, then sorry, I can't do it. I can't throw away 1,000 pieces to do this. That is my fault for that oversight. So fan feedback is important always, but to a certain extent. And of course, some people said that they didn't see the progress, so they are only seeing it now. Fair enough, but then it's just too bad. Yeah,
I understand that too. I mean, the thing is, so you also show a lot of your products at different conventions, right? You bring bring samples, you show that off. And that's a good time for people to see it, play with it a little bit, and then give feedback. And like for example, like at SCCC, you had brought the Musk for LP, right, to review.
Yeah.
So if the Musk has issues, blame Ryan because he has it. Blame Mad Hatter because he played with it too, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just kidding. Don't blame anyone.
Yeah, of course.
This is another question from Initial Goose that sent earlier today. What is one thing about the entire process of creating a toy, from concept to in consumer hands, that most people outside of the toy industry don't understand?
They don't understand tooling and production. That's it. That's the main thing.
Tooling
Because they don't understand that the tooling costs a lot. And of course, it's not their concern. The consumer need not be concerned about how much a tooling costs, right?
Yeah.
It's only concerning if the consumer is backing an independent and questioning why the prices are so high. That's the only concern that people don't understand is the tooling and the production. And that the production is done by human beings, and that the owner of the company cannot look at all 1,000 pieces of everything to inspect everything. It's just not feasible, So we just have to do our best to make sure that the QC is good enough, and if there is a defect, we replace it. So simple. Yeah.
Yep. Now, have the recent changes in the U.S. tax and tariff policies affected your business?
Fortunately, no, because again, we are not doing large containers. I do know for a fact it has affected other companies that I know who have huge shipments to the US with lots of toys, and all these have, according to April, been put on hold, and that affects the cash flow of the companies, because the customer is essentially saying, whatever that I ordered from you for this year, I'm not paying you yet. You can put it in your warehouse. I'm not getting it yet. See, so fortunately for us, we are moving it by small amounts, so the logistics is a way to bill us if indeed there is certain extra fees involved. That's all.
Okay. Now, before I get to the next question, I wanted to bring in my co-host Talib, since he's here now.
Oh.
So I'm going to play the music for him, and let's bring him in.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Talib. How you doing, man? Finally off
I'm
of
doing
work?
well. Oh, it wasn't too bad. Just slinging booze to the drunks that come into the store.
Should have brought some with you.
I was going to make a drink, maybe for the members only. I was just trying to get back here on the computer so I get some time with Ace.
Appreciate it, sir. Yeah.
I know he kept putting. I kept seeing comments in the chat saying, "I got questions for Ace. Don't end the show."
Well, first I just wanted to kiss his butt, because I scour Weeboo for like third-party Transformer news, and like the transparency that you have being a third party, it's refreshing. It's great. Just you're out there all the time, and like you mentioned earlier, I see your responses on like Facebook posts when people have questions or concerns. Just the fact how transparent you are with dealing with unlicensed stuff. I can't imagine the type of bullshit you have to deal with, and just to be out there, I applaud it. And I wish more third-party companies were like that, but I understand why they're not. And so it kind of leads into a question. Do you ever get feedback from other third-party companies trying to produce product that's unlicensed? Just be like, hey, man, tone it down a little bit. No, we don't want on the radar.
But any conversations or anything like that?
I've only had one reply from Fans Hobby, where I asked something. I forgot what I asked because the customer asked me to ask. So I asked Fans Hobby, and they replied, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay. I get it. I understand why, but like I said, I appreciate everything you're doing to promote your product, and being transparent like you are.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now, a question that I did have was, do you work with any factories that also do major brand figures?
Yes, but I can't say.
You can't say which figures. Yeah, okay, I get that.
Yeah, I can't say. Yeah.
Okay, but yes, okay. I get. Okay, you know what? Never mind. I won't ask that question. How do you balance costs with detail and articulation?
Whew. As you can see, most of our figures are 99.95 because for that size, for the amount of articulation, the amount of pieces, my tooling cost, my production cost for 1,000 MOQ, I have to price it at $100 because I have to discount it enough of discount to the resellers. I would not want to charge you $99 because it's too expensive. But that's why I have the early bird. So the early bird price, which is 30% off my 99.95 at about 70, is the price that I would like to sell you the figure for. Okay. Now, if I sold it at this price and then discount it to the resellers, then it's going to be negative for me. It doesn't work. So that's why I did this way. It's always early bird for supporters to get the best possible price that I can sell to you B2C, and then I got to raise it up for the discount to the resellers. And that's just how business works, right? There's a discount. And that's why when you see, again, it's my surmise, I don't have actual concrete proof. When you see discounts of, let's say, Motu figures or even the Hasbro Black Series or Marvel Legends at the discount stores, that price is the price that they buy for, which is the price that Hasbro sells them. You see? It's not as if, then why are you paying $20 when you can buy it for like $8? You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it is. The world needs to make money. There has to be the middleman. There has to be something. There has to be layers. When you buy a car, you pay the car sales. The car salesman get a commission. So why don't his commission be discounted off for you to get the car cheaper? See? So that's just facts of life. I digress. What was the question?
The question was, how do you balance costs with detail?
Okay, yeah. So at the moment, if I can get in future larger numbers, maybe the 5,000 of an SKU, then I can start to bring it down to lower levels, which we try to do with Ace of Aviation. So Ace of Aviation is not $99.95. They start at $69.95. And then I discount it. See? So I'm already making steps to show you that for certain figures, which is maybe easier, because Ace of Aviation doesn't have a lot of accessories, right? Just a helmet, a G-suit. So after we got the money back from the tooling, we're now able to sell you at a cheaper price. So that's how we are doing it. Yeah.
Okay. Now, let's see. Tal, do you have any questions?
Yeah. So how early in the design process for the BotCon Agabus exclusive, not Transformers stuff, how early in the process or when in the process, what did it click like, oh, we could do decos like this and make it exclusive?
It goes back to our first Gull Wing exclusives, right?
Yeah.
And it all happened because of a second release of the Gull Wing. Okay. So we wanted to do an amortization of the tooling, no question. But how? The question is how, right? So I initially thought about the Gull Wing in that particular production, which is with a tempo print and everything that looks like a toy. And then I thought about, let's say we can do a cartoon accurate version, which is less deco, more dumbed down, and that's a version to re-release as a second run of tooling. But before I can even do that, there was customers saying that, oh, I missed the first Gull Wing. Can you do a second production? And again, to our policy that we will never reissue something, I made the second production without tempo prints, but with stickers.
Gotcha.
But lo and behold, the numbers that we received for the orders were so short, so small, that it couldn't meet my MOQ of 1,000. So what do? So I came up with, let's do a clear version for Robo. Let's do a Joe Fest version, I think. And let's do a BotCon version. That was back in the day for the Gull Wing. The Stealth Gull Wing for Joe Fest and the Shattered Glass for Agabus. Okay. So once we laid out that blueprint, it was just, no brainer that for the next product, Great White, that they wanted an exclusive as well. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
So you can be sure, if you're a betting man, you would bet that Mobula will get exclusives next year.
Yeah, I was about to say that that teal. There's also that teal deco for the G2 version of the Great White. So
yeah.
But yeah, and then so the other thing was with that Megatron. So you worked with the one artist that was doing like crossovers to build that figure.
Yes.
So is there any more plans for those in the future? Because I think you had mentioned that you were trying to, right?
Yeah. So maybe at some point I will actually put up my Hasbro proposal online for you guys to see. All right. Okay. And when I was in New York in March for New York Toy Fair, that was my meeting with Hasbro as a follow-up to our previous meeting back in Las Vegas 2024, right? So months have passed, and after some meetings in Singapore, the next meeting was in New York, to which I would have actually matured my proposal, and I included the series, the line of figures from Chris Jalsi. When I saw his mesh of, Transformers and G.I. Joe, I thought this was a hit. So I reached out to Chris and said, hey, I would like to do this. Do I have your permission to pitch this to Hasbro? He said yes. I pitched it to Hasbro, and then what did Hasbro say? Oh, we're already having plans to make G.I. Joe and Transformers.
Right.
Okay. So, and then, so that frees me up to do things. And then I said, hey, Chris, they have rejected the proposal. Now, are you comfortable with doing this unlicensed? To which he said yes. So now, actually, the ball is in my court amidst my busy schedule to make the first line of figures for Joe Fest next year using this concept. Yeah. So that's where we're at now.
And another thing on figures. Now, I think when you were trying to get people to get pre-orders in for the Hunter tank and the bridge layer, there was tease of a figure with an orange helmet and a sledgehammer that might come with it. Is that still in play, or has that been put on the back burner?
It's still in play. It's just my mind now cannot process how do I sell this figure.
Right.
Because again, when I sell a figure, I need an MOQ. Am I confident that this figure is going to meet the MOQ? Seeing that other stuff, for example, Dog Terror, I'm still selling because I've not even reached anywhere close to my break-even point. So these are all considered because they are so generic that I'm not sure if I just release it as its own with efforts invested to make artwork, packaging, and everything, and then it might be like, what the hell is this, right?
Yeah.
So should it have been better that it's incorporated with the vehicle? But at the point of time, there was just too many things going on for me to say, hey, let's put this with the vehicle. Again, putting it there, were we ready to sell it as a figure? Yeah.
Right. Well, and I guess you could kind of see how many bridge layer kits you sold and maybe base that might be the demand for that.
Not enough. Not enough.
All right. So there we go.
Yeah, so not enough. Yeah. So the thing is this, the reason why we are okay with the whole armored vehicles project is because there's that many hull that is sold,
right?
But there's not enough of the other stuff. So we're actually losing money on bridge layer and phalanx because those two toolings is not generating enough sales. But we are compensating with people who are buying the
base
Hunter and the FS spinner. Yeah, so that's how we are sort of like breaking even. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, and that's good because, like I said, you have the data on how many of the bridges sold, so now you can know.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. I could jump in now with a question.
Okay.
Have you obviously, I think you have collaborated with other indie toy companies or lines. So which one has been a fun one for you personally, and which one has been a good one business wise?
I think collaboration at this point of time is only me extending my support for manufacturing more so than any actual collaboration. So what I've done so far is assist Riot Press with their Seekers production, Matt Hatter with his Flip War project, and that's it. Of course, I got ongoing projects with Zika Toys for the Space Eagle, and an ongoing project that's already been announced, the Mighty Orbots, for the production. So these are currently projects that we have in the pipeline. Yeah, that's not out yet.
Okay. Where do you see the company in 5 years?
5 years. I think we might be able to use our existing tooling and be able to sell to a bigger audience. For example, our tanks, which are generic enough without license per se. Our sewer diorama is not a license, right? It's a sewer and a street. So I think we are making enough of products that would see us be able to penetrate maybe a wider sales network, and that would put us in a position where we're more financially comfortable, and then we can start to execute more of the projects that's requested by fans to really do our best with the time, the timer that's ticking to put out as much nostalgia products as possible before we expire. Yeah, so I think in 5 years' time, I should still be doing what I'm doing, but perhaps with more resources and with a bigger reach. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what advice would you give to someone who wants to start their own toy brand?
Well, first of all, you have got to learn. There's no two ways about it. When I started making die-cast commercial aircraft, I bought a lot of die-cast commercial aircraft, even though it was just a factory away, or rather, it's just a matter of finding a factory, right? But no, I bought many die-cast commercial aircraft to see what the hell is going on. What exactly differentiates this from that?
Yeah.
This brand from that brand. Be a student before being the creator. So if you want to start your own toy brand, you're not starting it just because for whatever reason, okay? I mean, you are starting for whatever reason, okay? But if you want to start it, there is all this preparation that you must do, because without this preparation, you are likely going to fail. But it doesn't mean that if you fail, that's it. Because when you fail, you will come back again, learn the mistakes, and do it better. But why fail when you can actually now prepare yourself to success? So the advice is to go and learn. Go and learn. And by learning, it means, doing your own research online. There's lots of information that the internet can provide. You can talk to toy manufacturers, whatever information that they can divulge, right? Most of the people won't want to do that. They don't want you stealing their rice bowl, like what Bobby said. Don't come into my line of, right, my lane, which is respectable, right? So but then again, launching your own brand doesn't mean you are there for the big time. You could just be launching a small little thing that you want for your own hobby, which is perfectly fine. That means you're a small entrepreneur. You can go and, again, learn what needs to be done before actually doing it. And that improves your chance of success.
Yeah. That's good.
Do you keep like a running tally of like top 5 things requested by fans?
Not really. It's all in here. Okay. Like Kramer, it's all in here. Yeah, I don't really keep, but currently it's like Galaxy Rangers. There's like Thunder. There's Starcom. There's Visionaries.
Oh, Starcom.
So
I need a Velma.
Oh, even Captain Power as well. In Humanoids, stuff like that. So
some of the '90s babies are giving you ideas. Is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Probably a lot of 1/12 requests as well. I would imagine.
118 as well.
Oh, really? 118.
118. Yep.
Maurice Phillip in the chat is asking, is Bionic 6 in there as well?
Yes, Bionic 6 was very much in the topic in 2023, but somehow it has died down a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before I jump to the next question, I do need to start this giveaway thing. So let me ramp this up.
Let me go get my figures first while you do that.
Yeah, okay. So we're giving away a Savage Crucible Royal Guard.
Ooh.
It's one of the fancy ones. It's the one
Almost
that I think
Well, it almost looks like that one Marvel character that. Oh, what's his name? Oh, kind of.
It's
Not
a
really.
great figure. I have a few of these myself, but thank you for to Savage Crucible for sending these over to me to give away on the show. I'm going to play the little promotion, and then I'm going to show the hashtag so we could get that giveaway started. So Titans Toy Expo Creators Crown Awards.
Titan Toy Expo.
Join us in Nashville, Tennessee for the Creators Crown Awards. Over $5,000 in cash prizes. Different categories for submission including Best Diorama, Best Original 3D Sculpt, Best Custom Action Figure, and Best Action Figure Photography. Bring your submissions to this year's Titan Toy Expo, October 25th and 26th. Learn more about the event at CreatorsCrownAwards.com.
So go to CreatorsCrownAwards.com. You can learn about all the different categories and all the different things. And let me go ahead and share my screen. That way you could start doing the hashtags. Hashtag Savage for the Royal Guard giveaway. There's already 8 entries. I had a banner up earlier running them on the bottom just so people could start getting the entries in. All right. I think Ace is still gathering stuff back there. So Ace, if you can still hear me, Lord of Brooklyn is saying Tiger Sharks is a must.
I think Super 7 is going to cover that. I think.
Oh.
So we're not getting Target Sharks, is what you're saying.
Denied.
So did I miss any juicy details while I wasn't here?
Yeah, so there's a war between Valiverse and Ramen Toy that's going to start in 2026.
Is that like the war between LP and Canada, or?
Okay, so top 5 figures, right? Top 5 figures. I think I got
top 5 figures. That's right.
Okay, so in no particular order, right? I believe the.
Is that the exclusive one?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think it's exclusive, right? Studio Series Optimus Prime. I think they really captured the look of this, right?
Yep.
I think I've actually opened it. I'm not sure.
Yes, I have that on my desk at work.
I've opened it. So this is one of my top 5. I believe it's Ling Ji-hun, the Gypsy Danger with light up components. I think it's a very well done figure.
I don't know what that's from. What is that from?
It's from Pacific Rim.
Pacific. I was going to say Pacific Rim. That's all.
Yeah.
That's the only I could think of.
Yeah.
Okay.
It has light up via magnets.
I'll be turning your nerd card.
Yeah.
I mean, I have actually never watched the movies, so.
Oof.
And I really love this
Ooh.
Bandai
Ultraman.
It really captures the essence of Ultraman, right? And then my favorite, obviously, is Black, Mask Rider Black, and you can see the not these, but just trying to show you the way they have improved, which is what all companies should do. When Bandai first came out with this, we all thought this was the definitive Black as a figure. This was many years ago, and then they came out with the version 2, and we thought, oh man, this is solid, this is good. It's great, right? And then they finally gave us what the fans really want. This black.
Oh,
Yeah.
so incremental upgrades.
Yes. Right. And of course, it has a place in like top 5 would be Ramen Toy's shark.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good lineup for sure.
Thank you.
So it looks like it's becoming a reality, Ace. That in 2026, Hasbro versus Mattel has nothing on Ace versus Vala.
I don't understand where this Ace versus Valor thing. Did I miss the memo? Did you miss the memo?
Can't have a war if one side doesn't know about it, right?
Yeah.
That is also very true. I'm going to bring this back up so we could pull a winner. Did I just remove it? There you go. Hashtag Savage. Get a chance to win the Royal Guard from Savage Crucible. And I could personally say that it's a great figure just because I own like 4 of them on my shelf.
Nice.
And, Ace, while I have you here, do you have a merch store?
I was going to ask
no.
the same thing. When are we getting t-shirts and hoodies?
There's actually a merch store that Michael Canova, who is working with us since day one, on and off. He has set up a merch store where you can actually buy stuff that they do on the spot, so there's no inventory. I'll have to check with Michael what's the link. Yeah, but there's a little merch store. I was a bit apprehensive to do the merch store because, again, if you buy a cap and you're paying like $25 US to ship, it's like, what the hell? So this was my concern. Yeah. So
I need a ramen hoodie to wear as I'm doing a review on that Hunter tank I got coming.
Exactly. See, I want a shirt. Even my buddy Tristan in the chat earlier came in when he was drunk. He's like, just got home. I'm, full and drunk and not watching. But he was like, I really want a hat from Ramen Toy.
All right. We will do our best to.
He'll be at New York Comic Con as well.
Okay, I'll bring some.
I mean, I'll be interested in a hat too.
Okay.
Lord of Brooklyn is saying Vala declared war on all third-party companies. Ace, you are under attack.
I don't think so. Come on, he was showing off some of his favorite third company figures.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just a joke.
It's a joke.
TD3 Trooper with a 4-month membership chat. What's up, my dudes? How you doing, man? Welcome. Should we go ahead and pull this?
Let's do it.
I mean, there's only 27 entries, so
there's 51 watching. You would think that more people would want
free toys.
That. Yeah.
Again, it's the Royal Guard from Savage Crucible. I'll just give it another 30 seconds. Oh, see, Travis P saying the hat, man, the hat is nice, but that shirt is way better.
So, Ace, are you caught up on blockies? Are you still getting the Transformers? And
they just released the Unicron Brocky, the Galaxy ones. They are the new ones that has
It's got Hot Rod.
Yeah, Grimlock,
Metroplex.
Yeah. So, and then there's a bigger blocky, the Jetfire Optimus Prime movie version.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to get that.
So yeah.
I saw at Wonderfest they're going to have Dark of the Moon, Bumblebee, and Megatron.
Yeah. There we go.
So, along with some other stuff.
Lou from Lucida Base 3 said, Ace, I could put you in touch with someone who can do merch, like hats, shirts, hoodies here for you. So
you can email me at Ramen Toys with an S at Gmail.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this. Good luck to everyone who entered.
Good luck.
I should get like a drum roll. I have one probably somewhere, but I'll just play this.
And get a copyright strike.
Man, Joseph, congratulations, man.
Well done.
If you're still here in the chat, man, Joseph, that would be awesome. But congrats.
Speak up.
I just want to make sure you're still here, still lively. I could remove this for now. No, that was not Menjoza. Everyone's saying congrats to Menjoza though.
Right. No.
Oh, come on. I've only had to re-pull once when someone was not in the chat. And I felt bad for re-pulling it. Don't make me feel bad, Menjoza.
Menjoza.
Well, you would think he's getting tagged, so he has to be here. Maybe he fell asleep. It is late for some people.
It is late, that's true. Alright, well, I'm gonna let the chat decide because I still haven't seen him yet. I mean, we don't know if he's getting tagged because do you see him getting tagged?
Well, I mean, they're doing that, so I mean, hold on, I got it.
I mean, I could type at as well and put anyone's name.
He's here.
He's here.
In the
Okay.
chat. Yeah.
Maybe
I just
Steve
haven't seen
didn't-
his say anything.
Okay.
There
it is.
Here. Welcome.
Menjoza, congratulations, man. Hit me up on Instagram. Send me a message, and we'll make sure to get that figured out to you. Congrats. Let me remove this. Let's go back to Ace. So, what's one dream project you haven't done yet?
A dream project would have been to make the bat missile in 1/12.
Okay.
The bat missile, the actual Batmobile that splits into two.
Oh
into three.
yeah.
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 Because the old Kenner version literally had the middle, and then when you put it together, it looks bulky. So how do we actually do it so that it's more able to function with today's technology? So that is one thing that I think even Hot Toys canceled their Bat Missile project and that's 1/6 because of lack of demand. So
Right.
you see, which I think is kind of. I mean, I don't know what Hot Toys financials are, but I think they can afford to make a loss, right?
Yeah.
Just give the
amount of money
fans
they
something,
charge.
because not everything that you make you have got to make money. I mean, not saying that we are here to lose money, but if you are of a certain status and if you can afford to give back, this is the way of giving back. You don't just cancel because something has low demand, right? Because you know there are some people that want it. So if I was in position, I would just go ahead and put yourself on the map for a legacy product versus, oh, this doesn't make sense, let's just cancel it. You know.
See, you know the finance guy
but then again, I'm guilty of that. Let me just, before anybody say, oh, but I'm guilty of canceling the Apache Commander because there was really no way for us to pour in more money at that point of time to do something that nobody wants, you know.
Right.
and the Apache Commander pales in comparison with the Bat Missile, right?
Right.
Right. You're talking about the Bat Missile here. You're talking about John Thunder. You know, so yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you had mentioned before you were part of like an APC crew when you was in the military?
Yes, I was part of the armored infantry.
Right.
So
we're getting a 1/12 APC, right?
Ooh, wow! I was working on it, and I'm still am, but it's a M113.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody knows what that is.
Oh, Google will.
Oh, there we go.
just letters and numbers.
so Talent, you were thinking other stuff when you thought about APC, is that right? You're thinking about something that is like what Grid IS Studios is doing.
No, well,
Something...
I mean, we all know what APC means as a GI Joe fan, but
okay.
Okay. Yeah. So, but it was more of a troop transport APC.
Okay.
So it had like the cloth cover on the back of it. So it's not like what the M113 or even what
that sounds more like a truck.
Yeah, it was like pretty much. It wasn't as armored as.
Okay.
But it was called APC.
Oh, we call it a tree tonner.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is called a tree tonner. Yeah.
But yeah, I was just kind of curious because I thought I had heard that you were you was part of that an armored transport crew, and
I was
curious if you wanted to.
Not transport, infantry, armored infantry. Yep.
Okay.
How do you feel about making more military stuff with first party like Hasbro stuff? You got Vala, now Fans Hobbies making military stuff.
Right?
Does that make you want to build more military stuff because there's more hands in it, or does it make you more hesitant?
I think I might want to do stuff that is not done before. That's what it's always been my modus operandi, and then complement it with accessories, and possibly do the more like civilian stuff. There's people asking for police car, fire trucks, So let's do that. Because too much of a thing is always too much. Is not good. You saturate the market, right? So if everybody's hot on armored vehicles now, I will do something else. So that sort of thing. Yeah, I did armored vehicles because there was nobody doing armored vehicles.
Correct.
Yeah. So it's not as if I entered into the fray of Gridiron and Vanguard, because those are not actual armored vehicles.
Right.
So I think I'm the first to do it. I think so.
Yeah, one would call the Vanguard a mall crawler, right, Abby?
I'm not familiar with the term.
I have no idea what a mall crawler is.
It's what people that own Jeeps that jack them up and then make them look pretty, and it's the mom driving it to the mall crawlers.
I don't think Bobby would like to hear that. Oh man,
very well.
We could take a joke.
It's Bobby Vala. What do you think?
Right? Yeah, I just got us blacklisted, Abby.
Oh man, you just killed yourself.
It's fine. We're with Ace. They're already going to war. We just chose Ace as a side. Now let's go to from business. Let's jump over to conventions. And I promise you, Ace, I only have how many questions is that? 8 questions here. That's it.
Okay.
8?
Yeah. I highlighted all my questions.
Okay.
Which conventions do you normally go to?
All right, so the whole convention thing started with PowerCon in 2023. It was a great convention, and I was really hoping to visit it for the second year, but that didn't happen. So that transited into Joe Fest for last year. And since we were in Joe Fest for last year, we were committed to be there this year as well, and next year as well. So these 2 conventions were the ones that I went to, and then I inserted Toylanta for some reason. And then, there was obviously going to be a one thingness to go back again. But then again, due to my scheduling, I will have to forego Toylanta for next year. I am much more vested into attending like SDCC, NYCC, because I know that's where we can actually see a lot of the collectors and fans and influencers, right? Like Jay and Secret Galaxy, and yeah. So I would like to continue to go into all these conventions, but of course, I would at times want to try other places that have not been before, so that I can really have a feel of what's available elsewhere. Because sometimes going back to the same thing over and over again, sometimes it gets a bit stale. So yeah, that's what we do.
Lou, I think Ace said he's.
I'm not going to Toylanta.
He's
next
not
year.
coming back to Toylanta.
Yeah.
But you know what you should do?
The schedule.
You should come to IshCon next year.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe, right? So again, don't hold me to it yet, because again, I got a full pack schedule. I got to pick and choose. Yeah.
But if you can't make it and you want to send product to just show off, I could keep it at my table to show off for you.
Thank you.
Wow, that's nice of you, Albie.
Yeah, you're welcome. So mostly the big ones like NYCC, which I'll see you there in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then like SCCC, and then what about the international ones? Like you go to was it WonderCon? Is that what
yeah? So I
Wonderfest?
normally go to Wonder Festival in Tokyo. Although I try to avoid the summer event, it's really, really hot.
Okay.
I like to go to the winter event. Unfortunately, I signed up for and did not qualify for the booth in Wonder Festival next year in February. But
Okay.
so now I'm undecided if I'm going to go. I want to go to Shanghai Wonder Festival because it's an event that has been building up every year, getting bigger and bigger. As you can see yourself, maybe 2 years ago, you don't even have exclusives for Wonder Festival Shanghai, but now you're having a lot of exclusives. Again, I did not get a booth at Shanghai, so I did not go because it's happening actually on the October 2nd and 3rd. And incidentally, I'm flying out on the 3rd of October as well, because the moment I got news that I didn't get a table, I booked my flights to get back to Singapore for my flight to New York. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm foregoing Wonder Festival Shanghai completely. But again, I would want to go next year. A great event. And in fact, when I did live stream last year, it was one of our, in fact, the highest live stream views for us for the Wonder Festival Shanghai. Yep.
Okay. Kaiju Daddy had put another convention, Kaiju Con.
Kaiju Con.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
It's gonna be held in his basement, in Tokyo. He has a Kaiju. His homemade stitch up printed, Kaiju Con at the basement. They got like small tables and just kidding.
He's gonna be giving away little
I
hot
have a feeling his wife will not be happy for that.
Oh yeah.
So it looks like Lord of Brooklyn is trying to antagonize everyone. Talib has chosen a side. Avi, where do you stand?
Oh
Ramen or
man.
Bella?
Oh man.
I'll stand with Ramen with the Asians, right? I'm an Asian guy, so I'll stand with my people.
Oh.
You watch my feed. I am third party, damn near 100%. So
This is where you must pull up the speech from David Coren Sweat in Superman, that he don't stand here or there. We're together. We're all the same.
Yep.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah. K-Dog, welcome.
Hey, kid up.
Let me jump back to the other questions. Though. How important are conventions for building your brand and connecting with the collectors? We kind of talked about that just now a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's very important because the moment I was doing my first one in PowerCon, I felt it was very important to be able to be there live, connect with the people that buys your product, even for those that don't, meeting the people, discussing stuff. And I can tell you that the fans in the US has the most passion. Really, you don't have that in Singapore.
Oh,
Yeah.
We see it online all the time. Sometimes that passion can be confused with being fanatics.
Toxic.
Yeah, toxic. Yeah, the toxic nature of the American. Now, what's been your most memorable convention experience so far?
Most memorable is PowerCon. It's my
PowerCon.
first. And then, in fact, the last Joe Fest was kind of a blur for some reason. Just recent concluded Joe Fest. I was like, it just went and by. It just came and go so fast. Yeah, and also because I was staying in the hotel all the way, I didn't step out of the is it the Marriott? So I was in the convention center all the way. Yeah, I had my dinner, my breakfast, my lunch there. I didn't go out anywhere. Yeah, so that was maybe the reason why I just went and came and gone.
And honestly, I'm a little biased towards that too. I actually really appreciate when the hotel is attached to the convention center and you don't have to go anywhere.
Yes.
Because San Diego was a pain in the ass. Like I was 20 minutes away. I had to take a bus or an Uber every single day, going there, coming there, going other places. And being able to just, buy a bunch of stuff and then walk to your room, drop it off, and then go back downstairs and buy more stuff. So I appreciated that. Let's see. Do you use conventions to test interests in upcoming prototypes or ideas?
Nope.
No.
I just use it to share what I'm doing and just get the feedback. Yeah.
Now, how do collectors react when they see your figures or vehicles in person for the first time?
Again, I hope that the reactions are true. Most of them are like, wow, it's like great. So I just hope it's true feelings.
How did you feel when you saw the first reaction of that bridge for the bridge layer live in person?
Yeah,
fans?
very happy. It's it's humbling that people recognize the effort. Always comparing like what Hasbro is not doing, we're doing. But basically, we're just staying in our lane. We're not challenging Hasbro by any means. We're not challenging anybody. We're challenging ourselves. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, I guess let me ask you this question, right? So, with the question based off of, how do people, collectors react? You and I at SCCC, we went to a bar after dinner to meet other collectors, and you brought the tank with you, and you let people play with the tank. So how was the reaction that happened right at that moment, right? People were playing with that tank right on the spot at the bar.
At the bar, I met for the first time Wade, is that right? His name? Wade?
Yeah,
shook hands. Met for the first time Book, and he was nice. His name is Book Nice, right? So he was literally nice. We spoke a little bit. I mean, he gave his afterthoughts on that meeting with me. He mentioned that I was interesting, right? So I think we all had a good interaction. It's all basically based on very objective views, nothing subjective, right? So yeah, it was a good experience, definitely.
Let's see, what's the biggest oh, wait, Kaiju Daddy's comment. What's the biggest challenge in prepping for a major con like SCCC or like Toy Fair?
Getting all the samples done in time. It's always to the 11th hour. Everything is always 11th hour. That's always I always want to say, don't do it. Give us finish it, and then the thing is 1 week away. But always they're doing it right to the end. Even now, I'm preparing the super mask to bring to NYCC. That needs to go on a flight by itself. I'm packing it today for picking up on Monday, which is already very close. It's very close.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, what's one convention you dream of showcasing at?
Maybe SDCC, the real Comic-Con, right?
Okay.
But it's gonna be tough.
Yes, I've heard.
I can imagine a booth or just space is super expensive.
I heard they kick you out if you have unlicensed stuff.
Is that right? No.
That's what I heard.
Interesting. Okay.
There was even when Hasbro sent me the cease and desist for the helmet, they were saying that you were even show it off at SDCC, to sell your helmet. Oh man,
you were just wearing it though.
I was just at the time. I was just wearing it, right? It wasn't for sale, right?
It wasn't for sale. Because people asked you. I remember you said no, it's mine.
It's like, so to kind of what Kaiju Daddy said, a mobile booth at SDCC. Just get a couple people, some shills, to walk around with your products, and then you can just talk about it as you guys are walking around throughout the show.
The mobile booth is not a bad idea, because at these local like toy shows I go to, I have a cart I always take with me, and like people are set up with tables, and I always just put like boxes of like I'll put like a bin in my cart and then a box on top of that, and that way I'm mobile and I can walk around everywhere to all the tables and then offer people trades and stuff like that, and still have everything on my cart. So that's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah, I went to a local gun show, and there would be guys with backpacks and like signs saying, "This is what I got for sale in my backpack."
Nice.
So there you go.
Now, my last question, Ace, and again, I thank you very much for being here for this long. What advice would you give to an indie toy maker going to their first con as an exhibitor?
Have a good show. Prepare your booth. Do a mock-up. That means at your own home or your own office, get a similar size table. Put it how you want to display it. Make sure that it's has the visuals that you want, and then replicate the same display when you're at the con. So prepare, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard the bar is where the business gets done at conventions.
That's only after
I don't know.
hours, though.
Yeah,
After hours at night, yeah, definitely.
deals are made.
Well, Ace, I don't have any more questions for you. Talib, do you have
Okay.
anything?
No, I'm good.
All right. Well, Ace, yeah. Oh, go ahead, Talib.
No, I was just going to say I appreciate Ace hopping on and sticking around for a little bit longer so I could get a couple questions in.
No problem. Yeah.
Definitely appreciate you, Ace, for jumping on. Ace, do you have anything to shout out?
Well, come October, we will be having the Mobula online for sale again for those that missed out the Toy Lanta exclusive. The Toy Lanta exclusive was exclusive because not only did we give the early bird price, we gave free shipping. All right.
Okay.
So I think the next tier for this October's release is early bird price, but you have to pay shipping. Once we have that, we will be off to New York Comic Con. Come see us if you are there. We're going to be showing off the Ramen in its pre-production form. You can check it out. We'll be also showing the Mobula in its pre-production form. We'll also be showing the 3030 Marshall's horse in its prototype form, the same one that we showed at Joe Fest. And maybe I'll throw in a couple of Ace of Aviation if I still have those prototypes available, because once I came back, I gave it to the factory to get to work. So I'll check it out. So yeah, come by NYCC, support the helmet, which will once again do another run of orders once we are with a more mature prototype that you'll see at NYCC. And that's about it. We are going to do our best to churn out the release of the antagonist cyborg, which is aka Doc Terror from Centurions, and then following swiftly would be production on the Ramen. The Eagle Shop is also in final tooling phase. We'll also show that at Japan, because we couldn't bring that to NYCC because it's more important to have it show in Japan. We were trying to work out a deal to actually sell to a major retailer, because sales for that is really, really not looking so good. So hopefully we'll get some success over there. And that's about it. Thank you guys for having me on your stream. I appreciate so much. Hope that I didn't go off too much on a tangent.
Oh no, I loved it.
Away.
This is awesome.
So yeah.
There is actually 3 more questions from Kaiju Daddy, because you know how he
Okay.
is.
Lord, Kaiju Daddy's just taking over.
So Kaiju Daddy wants some questions answered. He's a little upset right now. He's heated. So the first question is, when are we getting the G2 Megatron tank reissued?
It's on
Reissue?
Activist.
No, there's on Agabus. There's no reissue. It's a one-time run. Yeah.
One-time run.
Yeah.
Kaiju Daddy, do you want me to send you the link? It's still available on Agabus.
Hold on.
I got it up right now.
When are we getting the Hall of Justice?
Send me the plans.
There you go. Send them the plans, Kaiju.
Yeah.
When are the V figures and vehicles releasing?
Okay, this one we might have to wait a little bit, because there's a good chance that it could be licensed.
Okay.
Yeah.
License. Okay. Very nice. Again, Ace, I appreciate you jumping on. 100%. This is awesome. I think a lot of the chat, they loved it as well. And Talib, do you have anything to shout out?
Yeah, come check out my channel, Talib1980_collects. That march to 1,000. I think I'm at like 923. And then every Tuesday, Transformers reviews. Every Fridays, action figure reviews. And then Sundays, I go live building blockies, 7 p.m. Eastern. And then Monday night on Figure Fight Club is Decepticast. It's our Transformers focus show, kind of mainly news, but we do topics as well. A lot of news this week. And then after that, on my channel, I do a recap of just all news throughout the week that I post all week long. So it's like it's all compiled into one like live episode. That's usually I'll just throw that up around whenever after Decepticast ends, and then I'm on here Tuesday nights and Friday nights.
Awesome. Again, coming from my side, we are on the road to 2,500 subscribers by December 5th, so we could do a giveaway party 2.0. So if you're new to this channel or just watching it on replay, hit that subscribe button. We would deeply appreciate it, and so will you when we do that giveaway party, because there's over 20 items that we're giving away. Actually, more than 20 items. I'm just saying 20 plus. There's probably going to be like 25 or 26, or probably even more, because I'll ask other people to throw in stuff. And then next Friday, we have a new VIP who's going to be joining us who has not been on the channel before. And here's the video for that.
Collectors gather around, any drink will do. Take a fight club, we welcome you. We welcome you. We welcome you.
So Detour Customs will be joining us next Friday on October 3rd. He's a customizer, also someone I've met a few times at different shows. So I'm looking forward to sitting with him and talking to him about all his different customs. And I own that boat that he made, which I'm going to show off too. And then again, thank you all. Ace, again, thank you very much. This was a lot of fun talking to you. And I'll see you at New York.
All right, I'll see you there.
Yeah, and chat, thank you guys very much. You guys are the reason why we do this. You're the community, right? The replay squad, thank you as well. And for members, we'll see you in about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. We're having auditions, so members only. We're dropping that link in the chat, and you guys can jump in, say hi, talk toys with us, and all that good stuff. Peace out. Pressure. We'll see you in 15 minutes. Or if not, we'll see you on Monday for Decepticast. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Goodbye.
As we wrap up tonight's fun, the figures in talk, so we've just begun. Join us next time for thrills anew. In the world of Figure Fight Club, it's all for you. Make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. See you next week on Figure Fight Club, stay strutting. This isn't goodbye, it's just to see you later. In the meantime, go check out another creator. So keep your figures on display until we gather here someday. Remember the tales and the laughs we shared. Here at Figure Fight Club, you're treasured and cared.